What's going on, Internet? It's your boy Studio Breeze, and I'm here with my guy.
Keith Mills, what's good, y'all?
And we are here today to ask you the question: is marathon slop or not? Now, two things that we wanted to focus on when really discussing this. Overall, is this worth $40? Because that is a not a huge price point, but a hefty price point considering the numerous free-to-play options we have in this shooter genre.
Yeah, as well as just the industry as a whole. You got the game's worth $70 now, so you kind of look at every game's price point with like if it's justified or not. So going in, like you said, there's a lot of free games out there and varying qualities, and I'd say I don't know. It's like I feel like at the end of the day, what's there should justify a price point, whether the game's good or not. I feel like the content is definitely something to look at, and like the server slam, which pretty much I'd say they kept a couple things close to the chest, but overall it showed overall what's like going to be in the game, and even just in that, I feel like for starters, it felt like a good start, I'd say.
Definitely, definitely. I myself personally, not being a huge fan of the extraction shooter genre, I do think that what is there from gunplay, graphics, to the overall vibe of the game itself, I definitely enjoyed, and it was like, especially those graphics. The game looks beautiful, definitely
Yes.
beautiful, and like I said, snappy gunplay. But it's Bungie. What do you expect? The I actually just now in real life just remember the other thing. Does it deserve to be in the Concordian timeline? Is the other thing that we're talking about this today as well.
Back at it again, huh? So far in the Concordian timeline, we've had one game that was free, and one game was that worth $40 as well?
Yeah, no. Concord was $40. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
and
So
then High Guard was free. Yeah.
So as of now, Concord is long gone, and by the time you see this video, High Guard is heading out the door, if not already out. And I gotta say, I'm not surprised. It's sad because it's a good thing for the day and age that we're in. People are still playing Marathon a little bit, almost a weekend. As of right now, as the time of recording, we're looking at over 62,000 people playing, and at its peak, it was somewhere in the 88,000s. And it's still pretty good numbers, all things considered. Because the other two games, I'm quite certain, lost about anywhere between 90 to 95% of their play base within the first 24 hours.
And that sucks so much for High Guard. Not to talk too much about that because this is more of a marathon centric video, but it does suck a lot for High Guard coming from the stand. Of out of the three that we've talked about, that is the only free to play one. And it's like so many people came to see it and see how it was, but there were so many more that came to just shit on it and leave it in the dust and just say that they did, try it out at least a little bit. Now, I don't think Marathon is up to a similar fate. I honestly think that Marathon, I feel like for the people that I've talked to about it, they definitely are liking it. Even people who are not hugely into like PvP based. I talked to one of my homies, B-Man. He definitely vouches for this game, and I mean, he is also a very avid Destiny lover. So I feel like the bones that they have, like from Bungie, from like having that good gunplay, the Destiny and Halo, what they're known for. I feel like that has a huge thing. I've heard that Concord had decent gunplay, and as far as High Guard was concerned, with those people being people who made like Titanfall or helped make Titanfall and helped make Apex, gunplay and everything was very tight. Movement was very tight. This felt, it felt like, you get the feeling from the developers, what they're good at, and they definitely didn't disappoint with that. So I just feel like the bones that they have are just so much more significant and more a great base to start off with.
Yeah, yeah.
And the vibe as well too. The vibe from like the little story bits that they try to tell with the missions and stuff like that, and cutscenes and things like that they incorporate. I think that's dope.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. And in terms of like still weighing on like the $40 price thing, we mentioned in the Concordian Timeline video, link in the description, that Bungie was in some hot water for stealing some art. And it's come to my attention that they actually acknowledged the artist in the credits as like a consultant, I believe, or something like that. Now, while that's a good thing, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like they only did it because they got caught. If no one ever caught on that they stole this person's art, they never would have done this. They never would have, delayed the game probably. And that just that rubs me the wrong way because it feels like no matter what, when that controversy happened, I feel like they needed to do something to kind of get players in good graces again. So kind of sticking with the $40 price thing is a decision to be made. They could have probably lowered it to maybe 30, even 20 if they were they really wanted to get people in and get people to forgive them. So it's like with that controversy, added to everything, it does kind of put the game still in a bit of a weird light for me, at least from looking at the developers behind it.
I can see that. I can see those being concerns for sure. I definitely don't see them having lowered it. I am surprised they went to 40, but then again, not really, because I mean it's an extraction shooter, which was similar to the price point for Arc Raiders. So
and Helldivers, right? Which I mean, it's not an extraction shooter.
I mean, yeah, right, yeah, and
a paid live service nonetheless.
Yeah, another live service shooter out there. I think definitely, but I think from the voice cast, I think they got one of those star-studded type cast. Bungie love doing that. They like Amazon. They love to just spend their bread on some nice voice talent. Me personally, I just wouldn't label it as slop. I think for the people that are interested in extraction shooters, that like that moment-to-moment gameplay of like it being hectic, like you're scrounging for some new loot, and you came in with your good loot this time, so you don't want to you really don't want to mess up. You're not really looking to get engaged in too many fights, but at the same time, you can't help it because I actually saw that there's also a different thing that the more you play, the more different stages unlock as well. So the more stages unlock, it's like the more likely you are to be having more encounters because they're more tight, like corridor based, like gets more more close, what I'm saying, more intimate for the maps and stuff like that. So, and it actually tells you it kind of it's like a leveling system almost. It's like this is more open and broad, expanded for people who are still new to it, and these are the ones that are a little bit more close range and a little more. It can get a little more sweaty at these places. So I do really like that as a added on thing, definitely, that they incorporated, and I do think that that's a cool concept that I think more games could actually take.
I didn't even know that was a thing like that. Now that you mentioned it, I appreciate that too, because like you said, I'm also not much of an extraction shooter type of person, so it definitely was an experience going into it. And it was funny. It was one time we were playing and we came across like we had more trouble with the NPCs than actual players, like the Grenader dude. Yeah, bro, like we was getting ransacked by these motherfuckers.
Yeah, we pulled up on some regular dudes, and then it was just getting hectic the next round with some NPC grenaders. They were blicking us down, throwing 4 grenades at a time. It was getting crazy.
I gotta be honest though, I actually like that the world is that much of a danger, because it's not just players we have to worry about. We just have to worry about getting robbed or whatever. There's a genuine danger that the world has. And if you ain't too careful, like we was thinking we run shit around here, you can get clapped and still lose everything, And I like that kind of give or take, that gamble. I'm a gambling man at the end of the day. It was an interesting game to play, I'll definitely say, and kind of makes me want to get into extraction shooters a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think overall just in general, it does feel more expansive. It doesn't feel like I haven't played Arc Raiders, but from people that I know play it, there are times where it just feels like it's not enough. So of NPCs, it doesn't feel as alive. So I feel like with Marathon, it definitely felt like the world just felt way more alive with that touch of NPCs. I was over here yo, it should not be like this, bitching about it at first. But overall, I definitely did like the time that I had to experience that. And yeah, I feel like definitely if it wasn't for the $40 price point and it being just an extraction shooter, if there was maybe a campaign or something like that, or maybe just a mode where you can just do some missions or something like that, co-op missions or something like that, there was more to it than just the extraction shooter part, I would be more ready to go, because like I said, the bones of the gameplay itself, it does feel good, and the graphics, the world, the setting, I love all of it the way it is. I just wish there was a little bit more to chew on. No diddy.
Bruh. I guess we can just leave it off with 2 questions I have to ask you, Breeze. Do you believe it belongs in the Concordian Timeline?
I think it's an insult to Bungie and the people who made Marathon specifically as a whole to even put one of their games in this Concordian Timeline.
Yeah.
Can't say the same for High Guard, but I mean, hey.
Win some, you lose some.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and like you said about, you gripe about the content. I hope that, from the way it's looking, it's looking like the future's a little bright for Marathon, and I hope it definitely does get the chance that, the other live service games in the timeline didn't get, which was time to actually develop. Because if you really look at all the live service games that are successful right now, the ones that are most successful are the ones that have been out the longest. You got shit like Fortnite, who's been out for close to 10 years now, I believe. Specifically, not the Save the World, but the Battle Royale part. You got For Honor, which we enjoyed. That's been out for 10 years. Rainbow Six Siege, 10 years. GTA 6, 13, 12 years. So I just hope that, whatever live service games end up in the Concordian Timeline, just give them a chance to maybe try to develop into something before, pulling the plug. And I'm hoping Marathon gets that same treatment, because I'm enjoying it. I'd even say I'll pick it up on a good sale. $20, I think I'll pick it up.
Fair enough. I mean, if they added a little campaign, some type of mission mode, something like that, raid mode or something cool, I'd buy it at the 40 point. But overall, I'm gonna say this for the struggle rules. I don't think we think this game is slop. But we want to know if you guys think this is. How are you guys feeling about Marathon as a whole? How do you feel about extraction shooters? What are you looking forward to in the game and space in general in the future?
Let us know how you feel about the other games in the Concordian Timeline. And I'm Keese.
And I'm Breeze.
And the struggle war continues.
Be breezy.